Oh, okay, you kind of ruined it. Okay. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I am deep in book world. Got a little tour in Colorado coming up, and a book launch at Healdsburg Running Company, and then one in Mendocino later on, and another signing in Sacramento. I got a busy few weeks coming up. I'm very excited about it. It's this book right here, Ultra Running for Normal People. Anyways, the questions I'm getting about the book are, specific to ultra running, obviously, but in a huge way, this book is a bigger subject than ultra running by far. And the more I think about it, and the more this comes up with clients, I see the world as, and I'm not the only one, speeding up. It seems like faster cells, quick fixes, speeding up your metabolism, power yoga, high intensity interval training. Everything is like ramped up. And it's not that any of those things are bad or whatever. It's just in the context of an otherwise busy life, which as a normal person I have, and clients I work with are not elite athletes. They're not trying to win races. They're trying to achieve health and happiness in a stress managed state, which I think you can't do unless you're in a stress managed state. But all this speeding up. And I remembered when I was starting to train for my very first ultra marathon. It was like 2016 or 2017, the American River 50 miler. I was starting to head out on some longer runs. Now the coach I had at the time, this guy Matt Flaherty, was first thing he came out of his mouth, and this is what I talk about in the book, it was to slow down. And he said, you got to slow down. I said, well, I can run in 8-minute pace. He goes, not for 50 miles, you can't. So there I went out, and I remember, leaving. I tried to leave on the early side because my twins were very, very young at the time, and I wanted to get home by the time they woke up. And so, to be with my wife and family and to help out and all those kinds of things. And so I'd get up, and I'd start running. And I made a decision right then that I was going to try to do this training. I don't know why I did this, actually. It was really rough. To try to do this training fully disconnected. Meaning, nothing being pushed into my head. No music, no podcasts, no audiobooks, nothing. Just to run in silence, or at least only surrounded by whatever noise was out there, but not intentionally putting something into my ears. It was a struggle. I would say it was easily as much of a struggle as the running itself. And again, by slowing down my pace, the running became very manageable. It was a whole total mindset shift for me, because I had been in that sort of militant kind of pushing, you don't get a workout until you're, about to die. And there I was running, 12, 13 miles or more, but going so slow that I had energy during the day. I was present. It felt good. It felt rejuvenated. I allowed my body and mind to make adaptations by keeping that pace, mental and physical, slow. And it's an interesting thing seeing the world speed up. Technology speeds everything up. We're trying to get more productive, more efficient, more this, pushing. And the book, it's about trail running, and it's about being on trails and also, running those distances to sort of allow yourself enough time to shed the chatter. As everything else speeds up, so does I think the mind chatter. That it's like popcorn brain. We're also zooming through things on our phones and popcorn brain, and it does take time. You can't go out for 10 seconds on a trail and go all back in. Oh, okay, it's all good. It's all flat. But after a while on trails, it starts to peel away, and you do get into a place where it's much more quiet than typical day in the modern world, especially in the context of all these fast kind of messages that we see in the health and happiness arena. But the reason why the book is a bigger topic than ultra running is because not everybody has access to trails. And this isn't really about trails. This is about disconnection. This isn't about giving up anything, social media, news, internet in general, and YouTube or whatever. This is about intentionally bringing in times of disconnection, periods of disconnection. They're going to be a lot less than when you're connected. Trust me, I understand that. Same thing for me. But the little forays into disconnection make a big difference. And they're a dying art. We are bringing stuff into our heads almost all the time, if not all the time, except for when we're asleep. So we need to remember, and I coach people this, and I'm telling you, this is not handed to you. You have to make an intentional decision to disconnect And it's getting harder and harder to do that. Those runs where I was disconnected coming out, it was shocking how slow time went. Running along the road, then getting on a trail, and just quiet and going, oh my God, when is this going to be over? But as the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, it got much easier. I was able to just get into in a kind of a place of quiet, into my head in a good way, to actually listen to what the noises around me, to pay attention to what was going on. You can do this in cities, in parks, on roads. It doesn't have to be trails. I do think that getting into nature is a thing. And it's a more natural place for us, duh. But also the natural terrain, I call it in the book wild attention. It brings us into a place of attention with sort of effortlessly. You can't really zone out when you're on a trail because you'll fall. So you kind of get that distraction, and then you go, oh, I need to pay attention. And then you get the distraction, and basically it's meditation. It's meditation without the pillow and the candle, and it's like getting out there. And it's physical, and you're moving, and it's very animal in the best way possible. And we sort of lose that overthinking part of us and get back into a more aware, present state. Ultra running for normal people is that this is accessible to all. And it is an amazingly profound act to disconnect, to just shut things off, even if it's for a shortish amount of time. It does make a difference. It does change the way that you come back into the ever quickening world. Good boy. Good boy. Can you say hi to the camera? Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the peoples.